guys, my name is Tara. I'm the designer of Marie Elaine, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about everything fashion, everything sewing, everything DIY. And today I just wanted to touch on a few terms that we use in fashion and sewing that will help you to better understand when I put more tutorials out there. So I just wanted to explain some of them, in layman's terms or as best as I can. You could always Google them and, get the proper definition, but I'm just going to speak from what I know. So the first term is seam. What is a seam? This is like the foundation of your whole garment. You need your seams in order to actually make whatever it is you're making, because the seams is what holds it together. So for example, you'll have a front and a back piece, and when you sew it together, it creates a seam. So for example, this is a side seam. So you're going to create one on this side and then you'll create another on that side. So that gives you two side seams. So basically it's just sewing two pieces of fabric together. And that stitch that's in the middle, that's called a seam. The next word is seam finish. How are you going to finish the seam on the inside? You rarely see the inside of a garment that's not finished. So normally garments are either serge on the inside, like in this one for example, or you could do an open seam with the raw edges stitched under. You could do a closed seam, you could do a flat fill seam, and there are many more seams. I will definitely put out a video explaining how to do some of these seams and also how to do seams without a serger. Okay, so the next word that I wanted to touch on is seam allowance. Now, seam allowance is that extra piece of fabric that is left after you stitch your seam. So sometimes, if like especially you're following a sewing pattern, it will tell you sew with a 5/8 seam allowance. That means you're gonna create a stitch leaving 5/8 of fabric left over, and this is called your seam allowance. The next word I wanted to get into is hem. So hems, when we talk about hems, it generally refers to the finishing of the garment, the ends of the garments. How are you gonna hem it? So for example, your sleeve hem, your dress hem, your pants hem, your skirt hem. How are you finishing it? Are you gonna fold it under and stitch? Are you gonna serge and stitch? Are you gonna use things like stitch whip tree and all that? That's definitely another tutorial that I'll have to put out there, because there are different ways to finish seams and different ways to finish hems. The next one I want to touch on is garments. It's a word I use a lot too when I speak of clothing, but basically it's the outfit, it's clothing, it's the design, it's the garment, your clothes. I think maybe they used to use that word more back in the day. Now we use the word more clothes. Anyways, the next word is silhouette. So when I speak of the word silhouette, it refers to the shape of the garment. What is the shape of the dress gonna be? Is it going to be a tent dress? Is it going to be a shift dress? Is it going to be a peplum shirt? Is it going to be a bodycon dress? It refers to the overall shape of what it is you're sewing. The next word I wanted to talk about is lining. So lining is just a double layer that is placed underneath the outside of your clothes. Well, it's placed inside your garment. So this dress isn't lined, it's mesh and it's see-through. But if I was to, let's say if I wanted to wear this to a certain event, I would line it so that you wouldn't be able to see my bra and my underwear. So lining is just a second layer that's inside the garment. The next word I want to touch on is facing. When I speak of facing, it generally refers to the neckline. Sometimes the shoulders if it's a sleeveless top or dress or thing that you're making. Facing it's almost like lining, but it's not it doesn't have to be carried all the way through. Facing can stop like right here. It can stop right at the neckline, so you could have a neckline facing here. I will definitely post a picture or a video showing more on facing and self-facing. The next term I wanted to get into, well, it's really a stitch that's used on the sewing machine. It's called a Zig Zag Stitch. That's that stitch that you see going, you know, like a zigzag, like from left to right, down like that. It's basically used when you're stitching knit fabrics, things that are stretchy. You want to be able to stretch your clothing when you put it on, so you're going to use like a certain type of stitch, like a zigzag stitch or a stretch stitch. I also wanted to talk about basic stitch. So a basic stitch is your regular straight stitch. That's as simple as that, the one that goes, you know. The next word I wanted to touch on is woven fabric. If you've read my blog post, I did speak a little bit about this. You could check it out. It's at by Marie Elaine. Woven fabric basically is fabric that doesn't stretch. So for example, this dress that I have on, it has no stretch. It's a cotton fabric with no stretch. Versus knit fabric, which is stretchy, like this one here, very stretchy. So that's what I mean when I say woven fabric or knit. So today was just a quick video of a few terms that I'm going to use going forward, and I want you to pay attention to and listen to and learn, so that when I say these things you'll understand inside the video. But you can always comment, ask me anything down below when I post or make a video. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And also I'll be posting this on my Instagram page and my Etsy shop for sale, and this dress that I have on as well. Follow me at by Marie Elaine to see more, and please shop if you like my designs. I look forward to seeing you guys on my next YouTube video. Thank you.